Hey friends, this is Kristen from Kristen's Sketchy Journey, and I want to take you on a little trip with me. I recently went urban sketching in our town's historical cemetery. I would love to hear you comment below as to whether you think sketching in a cemetery is kind of creepy or actually pretty peaceful. And along the way, we'll probably talk about a little bit more regarding opening up your creativity again, getting back to being creative. Come along with me and we will get started. So, let's talk a little bit about 5 ways that you can regain your creative muscle, especially that would work well for sketching or drawing. The first thing, number one, and it's always my number one, is to give yourself permission to do bad art. I wanted to remind you that perfectionism kills creativity before it even starts. If you're always thinking about being perfect from the beginning, you're never going to get started. You're not even going to pick up the pencil. So, every single master artist in the world, in history, has produced thousands of bad pieces. So that's why I've moved to a more sketching format, because you can much more easily give yourself permission to do bad art. What I was doing here in this cemetery, it was very peaceful except for all the car alarms going off and everything like that, which is why I had to silence the background noise, because there was tons of construction noise and stuff going on at the time. I don't know where that came from. Number 2, sketch on location, like right now. Changing your environment sparks a new perspective. You can go to a cemetery like I did. You can go to a coffee shop or a park, anywhere that isn't your usual spot. You can even go out in your backyard if you want to, especially if you're kind of shy about getting out your sketch pad or a pencil and drawing out in public somewhere. Anywhere that's different than the normal place you sit at home is a good place to be. The unpredictability of outdoor conditions also forces you to be more spontaneous and less precious about your work, because if you see the rain clouds coming, you had better finish up that drawing fast. The third thing you can do to stretch your creative muscle is to set tiny, achievable goals. Stop setting this goal like I'm going to paint a painting in 5 hours. Instead, say, I'm going to make one mark on paper every day. Build momentum with these little wins instead of overwhelming yourself with the end result. Maybe you could do a 5-minute sketch every day for a week and see how much you can get done in a 5-minute time period. Number 4, copy. Copy artists that you admire and do it without shame. It's not like you're going to sell their product, and that's what people usually care about. You just need to remember that copying is how we learn. It's not cheating, it's training. I say the same thing for tracing. If you don't know how to draw a horse, find a picture of a horse and trace it, and then trace it again, and then trace it again. And after you've done this several times, put your tracing paper away and draw that thing from memory, and you would be shocked how much you remember from the tracing process, and your muscle memory will remember as well. Anyway, pick different styles, too, of artists to copy. Stretch your different creative muscles. Masters learned by copying other masters. That's how they learned. So, to be a sketch artist, learn by copying other sketch artists. To paint in acrylics, learn by following other acrylic painters. All right, the 5th way in this video that you can start stretching your creative muscles is to embrace constraints. And let me explain. If you have a limited time and you limit your materials and limited subject matter, it forces you to problem solve in your head. It forces you to look at things differently and to use your tools differently. For example, you might say, today I only have this one pencil and 10 minutes to draw. It becomes a creative challenge and not a limitation to have just that one implement. You can do all kinds of textures and tones with that pencil. So all of these things are ways to help you to get outside of yourself when you're drawing, when you're sketching. These are only 5 of myriads of ways you could stretch your creative muscles. So I think that this could give you a good start, though. I'm sure in future videos we'll talk about a whole lot more related to this. Anyway, I really hope you hit the like button on this video. It helps me grow in the algorithm. And I hope that you'll come back and visit me some more and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have a lot of really cool things coming up in the future, and so I really hope that you'll join me. Also, I've started a new channel. This channel is for my art coaching. It's for coaching people on how to reopen their creative muscles and to get creative. It helps with your health, it helps with your mental health, your physical health, and even just peace of mind. In this world that we live in now, that's something that is highly lacking and we need. So I hope you'll join me again. Also, I have a new channel that I'll post down below in my description. It's called Declutter, Dream, and Depart, Our Journey to France. So we're planning on a move to France to go over the pond, something I've always wanted to do all my life. And so that channel will be specifically discussing our preparation and our move to France. I hope you'll join me. I hope you've enjoyed this little sweet cemetery scene in my town. It's an old historical cemetery. And just, stick around and I'll see you soon. Catch you later.